Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Coffee with Wolfman. Did you do your 51 push-ups today? I know I just did in my mini stretching routine. Surprised no one's gone, why 51 yet? Can you figure it out for yourselves? So even though I felt really ill for about 2 hours yesterday, it helps motivate me at least every other day after you're 40, if you can't do it every day, my 51 push-ups. Good habits. We have a video on that. Hopefully you guys looked at my 1-minute highlight reel. I have more footage from my Lost 2000 fight. You might want to find my found lost footage. My 2000 MMA fight, pro fight. 2 of the 3 have put it on their websites finally. The other one, the one I actually have personal contact with over 20-year history, has been saying since Christmas that he would do it and still hasn't done it over at the Underground. Makes you kind of wonder why, because they like people bad-mouthing me and claiming records that aren't true. Not like I had a ton of fights, but I won 3 MMA, NHB, whatever, fights by first-round submission, and I lost 2-3 of the very best fighters in the world. But that's not why I'm making this video. It's finally going down. Remy, and then Dan the Wolfman versus Rokas. So I am taking on Rokas Leonovicius. Isn't that your name? Off of memory? Leonovicius, Rokas Leo. I think it's because he's always just been jealous of a manly ponytail. That's what it's about. I got a feeling that's what it's about. And that mean bastard Remy over at Martial Arts One-on-One that you definitely should subscribe to if you want actually hard, applicable, functional AIKIDO, keto type stuff. Check out Remy. Why? Because Dan knows the difference between hard people and soft people. I know people that have been in firefights and been a bouncer and been in real fights versus other martial artists like Remy. I know people that have been there and done that. People that are old school, if you will. There's a difference, people, and you might want to pay attention to it. So Rokas, is he friend or is he foe? Think about what Dan the Wolfman did originally 3-4 years ago. What does this mean in Filipino martial arts? This is the hand of peace and friendship, and this is war, which we get Sunday 1 p.m. EDT with Wolfman. But let's see if he can take it after possibly Remy, who's a little bit younger than me and still loses his temper a little bit. Remy, Martial Arts One-on-One with Rokas Leo live. Martial Arts Journey at 1 p.m. EDT, which is 7 p.m. Norwegian time for you Norway people out there. Go check out Remy. Hopefully I'll be doing some seminars coming your way. Speaking of seminars, Dan the Wolfman coming to Killeen, Texas early July. I will have a lot of military and law enforcement there on the Combatives day, and the next day teaching my catch-jitsu, catch wrestling, jiu-jitsu, hybrid style. Before that was popular to just claim everything was jiu-jitsu. So, friend, peace, war. You have to be able to make both. Let's see how it will go with Rokas. I've spoken, it's not a game, it's very much from the heart. I was very much giving. I try to help out those with less experience. I try to be the finger pointing to the moon, to lead to truth. Not black and white, to put the multiple shades of gray in between. I have extended hands in friendship towards other people. And I'm a sensitive guy. And so if I'm not taking seriously with what, look at my 1-minute speed MMA highlight, kudo highlight. Like, just look at that and compare it to footage of some other people. And that was me as a very young man. As a white and blue belt in jiu-jitsu, not a black belt, not before all my black belts. Not before another 15, 20 years of sparring the top MMA fighters around the world. We discussed that. Viking Samurai's first video with me. Probably next week you'll get another one. I don't know which one he's going to do. Talking about training with Joe Rogan or Gene LaBelle or talking about Steven Seagal. I don't know what he's going to do, but Viking Samurai, especially his last video, very funny. Talking about the haters in the comments and the baiting that people do. That leads us into some of these other YouTubers, like Ramsey, Dewey, and Shanghai, China, that place that does bad stuff to people that disappear, murdered organs, other stuff. But, you know, whatever. I know the censors like to take their money. I know all those people that I like to take their money. I know I get shadow banned. I know I get censored. And I know that my even comments on other channels just disappear. And sometimes I think it's them doing it, maybe it's not. Well, Ramsey, I've tried reaching out to for a year, being nice, sending him messages, Merry Christmas, this and that, and he's never responded. That's not why I occasionally say stuff, because I like Ramsey Dewey, what he says. I said we've both got experience, taught in different places. You know, we see eye to eye on a lot. I've written him that. But it's when he teaches stuff, and it's when anyone, and not just him, teaches stuff wrong, technically very wrong, that's when I have a problem. But I have offered that hand of friendship before I offer war. I've done that with other people. Even back in the day, I got on a Seth podcast thingy talking about watching girly shows and letting his girl dominate his life. But I'm kind of a old school, a bit more manly. You know, they don't want people to be that way. But that's kind of who I am, people. They're trying to change us all and get rid of that critical thinking. We talked about that in the last video. First mentioned Jesse Enkamp. After, like, I never saw his I don't know how, I never saw his channel. And then I watched a few videos in Japan, China, and like, oh man, this is really cool, and kata. And that's when I, like, came up with my freeform kata thing that a lot of people really loved. A lot of people are like, oh, there's like, I'm just an old guy on my back porch because I can't possibly really fight as I do my karate, right? Because that's what people think, because they're so dumb. But I wrote him nice, and then, you know, whatever happened, whatever it is. He has apologized. You know, it was a rough, trying time for the world. So I sent it, I'm like, you know, let's give this guy's channel, let's watch a couple videos. So a couple nights ago, I watched a couple Jesse videos. And before I go on, 1 p.m. tomorrow, Remy, Martial Arts 1-on-1, reverse Rokas Leo. It might get heated. I honestly don't know. Okay, Remy's been pretty good about biting his tongue. We'll see. DanTheWolfman versus Rokas. We're not friends. We're not enemies. Even this whole time, I'm kind of frenemies. He's young, and I'm trying to point him to some truth. And I did like his Aikido and Wing Chun videos better. I think he was actually a little too easy on Wing Chun. And I'm the straight blast guy. Yeah. But we might discuss that later. I told him no subjects. I'll get back to my point. No subjects are off. We can talk about not only Aikido, that everyone's pitching me holding in as the great defender of all things Aikido, stop it, but Sistema and Kali and Wing Chun, and, you know, we can talk about Krav Maga if you want to, which I can't really talk about with some of my other friends. So, Viking, but we can do these things. And anyway, I reach out to Jesse, and I make a couple comments on his videos, and they disappeared, and I don't know why. Now, I had already done these nice comments, and then I watched another video. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I already made a comment. And then I see that his brother, Oliver, is teaching from Philly Shell, a.k.a. almost the skull and crossbones of my 52 series I teach. And he taught the elbow to the upper bopper bottom fist punch. Boom, 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 boom. I teach a whole series in my 52 series and in my Neo Striking series down the line in round 3. Which I probably will never get to with my age, but it's coming out. I've edited 2 of the videos, my Neo Striking cluster fighting systems. Really mind-blowing stuff you need to pay attention to. But anyway, Oliver shows this. So I start to talk to Oliver on Facebook. He responded. He was very kind. He has been before. And I genuinely want him to do well. Why? Because DanTheWolfman supports the karate TMA guy. I just can't help it. It's been ingrained in my system since I watched the Karate Kid as old. And as an old man, I get on Cobra Kai and even get in the bloopers tripping like a dumbass. It's true. It's true. But Oliver was nice. I said, you know, I'm disappearing, but it might be YouTube because some comments, Viking said he didn't delete off his, and you know, they're shadow banning me. So every thumbs up and comment down below is so appreciated, because they don't want any truth, they don't want any manliness, they don't want any critical thinking, they don't want logic. They want Ants, 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 which is really a remake of the cowboy movie, which is really a remake of The Seven Samurai. But I digress. Talking about Bug's life and Ant's life and Ants and Bug's life. You might want to pay attention to those stories. Total, absolutely rip-offs of Akira Kurosawa's The Seven Samurai. While you're at it, read Rashomon. Rashomon. Might want to read that. I'm going off on tangents today. Jiri talking about the Book of Five Rings. I talked to him about it, New Year's Rising. I told him before my MMA fights I was reading the Haga Core. Kind of relates to the Enkamps, doesn't it? Read the Haga Core. I read highlights before I fought Jeremy Horn. They were like, why you're flirting with this girl and reading a book before your fight? You need to get ready. Like, they actually said that to me, the promoter. I'm like, dude, I'm chill. I got like 2 hours, man. So, watch me talking about sparring the best light heavyweight and heavyweight champions of the UFC, not the lighter weight classes, just champions. Okay? So, Oliver, I'm like, I tell him again, and that's what I told Jesse when he did apologize to me. I said, look, here's 3 videos I'd really like you to share with Oliver. I genuinely want him to do. I'm a genuine guy, if you haven't figured that out. Like, I'd say it like it is. My anti-cage tactics video, which Stipe manager, by the way, if you saw that comment in Vikings, Stipe's manager did offer to pay me to come out and be a sparring partner. Stipe, before he was champion, but it was middle of winter Ohio. I was in LA. I'm like, and Stipe probably bangs too hard. So I didn't want it at the time because I was having a little bit of like taking time off of sparring to let my brain heal for a while. I keep getting off track today because I didn't drink the 1 cup before I made the video. I'm sorry, people. But anyway, guys, I told the anti-cage tactics video, I said you want to look at my hands first, biomechanics takedown defense video. People don't believe, but a punch is a punch and a center line is a center line. And I know you're going for my hips to take me down, so I can intercept and cross-face and do the stuff that I can do, which requires sensitivity. So maybe it's good to dabble in other martial arts for a little bit if you have your base. That's 2 videos ago. You might want to check that out, though some people misinterpreted it. So, we'll see. Oliver said thanks. I just said the names of those 3 videos. There's also Dan the Wolfman really using the double Suki punch. Let's see if they use that in their video. Because I nailed it live, and I have other against a Japanese pro fighter, and also other footage using it in Japan, landing the double Suki punch, which Batman's also used twice in movies at least. And I thought I was the first to really land it full bore and real hard sparring, but my half-Greek brother of another mother, Alex C in UFC did land it. So that's a cool video. Maybe I'll edit. Maybe Enkamp will get to it and not give me any credit. I don't know. Jesse, what's up, bro? I've offered peace again to your brother. Okay. So there's guys I've offered peace, and there's stuff behind the scenes, and I see, and I don't like, and I don't like, you know, because, like, same marketing companies, and I see what's going on. Dan the Wolfman's got open eyes. I've read books. I've studied history a little bit, like I recommend you do. But it's going down with Rokas. I don't know how it's going to go. It can go down with other people, which I can go close doors too. I don't have anything to lose. I don't have fear of any man. You don't got a gun or a knife. I'm not scared. You got a gun, I'm pulling mine. You got a knife, I'm running away and or pulling mine and or saving other people. That's just the way it is. I've lived already long enough. Like, you know what? I dealt with my issues. I still had issues yesterday. It gives you a moment of clarity when you have severe medical issues. And when you've looked at that, like, look at my video of Nate Diaz, I'm not surprised. Look at my head. I'm like a Jigsaw in a Punisher movie. Check it out. So, guys, it's going down with Rokas. I really don't know how it's going to go. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I've never hated the guy. I hate some of the things he said. Speaking of that, we might get into it. I haven't listened to the whole military one yet. I've listened to about 10 minutes before this video. But I've had 2 people, one who worked the Special Forces very closely. I don't know if he was or not. Worked very closely with Special Forces for 10 years. An experienced, critical thinking guy. He wrote me, he ain't so happy about it. I had a UK police officer that I know is responsible for some high-profile arrests of murderers and rapists 15 years as a cop, was a bouncer, was infantry in the UK before that, and studied at least 4 martial arts. They're not so happy about it. Why? Because you have an artillery guy talking about martial arts, and you're talking about the UK, and you're not talking about airborne, the guy said, or even infantry. Different things. And you're not talking about special forces, perhaps different things. I mean, my special forces adjacent friend said, you know, what about the guy who killed 4 guys in a room with only combatives? Now, I don't know if he grabbed a shovel or a knife or was empty hand, but when someone I personally know like that tells me these things, I believe it, because not everyone is a wimp. Okay? There's harder men than me out there, and nowadays most aren't even a tenth of what little old sensitive Dan the Wolfman is. So, you know, we might get into that. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but like, what about the Army? Is it done jiu-jitsu a long time, and Mac was kind of better, but my day, it was boxing, fighting in a cubicle. You couldn't move. I tried a couple parry punches, and it was like, no, I should just be throwing. Thank you for that. Hoorah. So, anyway, guys, again, every thumbs up, share, subscribe, notification bell, because, again, they've shadowed me. Every possible platform has shadowed me. I wonder why. I wonder where they get the money from. I wonder who the evil people do bad things to. Little tiny people and all that. You might want to open your friggin' eyes. Do your push-ups. Take your multivitamin and your D3. I'm Dan the Wolfman. Get down there. Let me know. And let me know if you're going to watch me versus Rokas and Martial Arts 1-on-1 Viking Samurai sub. Do all that. Help us out. Yo, thank you.